Hi everyone, you are watching Commerce King Academy. We have been learned about in this chapter number 3, content number 1, which was analysis of business transactions. In last video number 1 of chapter number 3, which was consist of this concept wholly. Right now, okay. So today we gonna start with new concept right here, which is rule of debit and credit. Yeah, in this video I am going to teach you that how we use debit and credit in accountancy. That's it. This is very simple and straightforward video or concept, but remember and keep in your mind that it is the backbone of accountancy. Understand? Make sure if you see this video till the end, you will understand about that logically as well as practically. Make sure if you see this video till the end, you will understand about that logically as well as practically and have completely grip on this concept when you will apply on business transactions which done by every company on day-to-day basis. So let's get started with rule of debit and credit. The three golden rule of accounting you should always follow. You might have heard of the golden rule in life. That is, treat others as you want to be treated. But did you know that there is also a golden rule for accounting? In fact, there are three golden rules of accounting, and no one of them is not treating your accounts the way they want to be treated. If you want to keep your books up to date and accurate, follow the three basic rules of accounting. It's no secret that the world of accounting is run by credits and debit. Make a book's world go round. Before we dive into the golden principles of accounting, you need to brush up on all things debits and credits. Debits and credits are equal but opposite entries in your accounting books. Credits and debits affect the five core types of accounts. Assets. Assets are resources owned by a business which have economic value. You can convert into cash, for example, land in equipment, cash, vehicle, and etc. Second type of accounts is expenses. Expenses are costs that occur during business operations, e.g. wages, supplies, etc. The third account which affect the debit and credit accounts, which is liabilities. Liabilities are amounts owed to another person or business, for example accounts payable. Fourth is equity. Equity is your asset minus your liabilities. I'm saying again, equity is your assets minus your liabilities. Fifth is income and revenue. Income and revenue is cash earned from sales. Dear students, credits and debits affect the five core types of accounts: assets, expenses, liabilities, equity, income and revenue. A debit is an entry made on left side of an account. Debits increase an asset or expense account or decrease equity, liability or revenue accounts. A credit is an entry made on right side of an account. Credits increase equity, liability and revenue accounts, and decrease asset and expense account. You must record credits and debits for each transaction. The golden rules of accounting also revolve around debits and credits. Take a look at our three main rules of accounting. Please listen with true attention. Three main rules of accounting are: first is debit the receiver and credit the giver. Second is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Third is debit expenses and losses and credit income and gains. These are the main or golden rules of accounting for handling debit and credit rule. Now I will explain these rules in the context of some explanation and as well as with examples. Debit the receiver and credit the giver. The rule of debiting the receiver and crediting the giver comes into play with personal accounts. A personal account is a general ledger account pertaining to individuals or organizations. If you receive something, debit the account. If you give something, credit the account. That's it. Check out a couple of examples of this first golden rule. Example number 1 of first rule is, say you purchase amounted $1,000 worth of goods from company ABC. If your books, you need to debit your purchase account and credit company ABC, because the giver company ABC is providing goods. You need to credit company ABC. Then you need to debit the receiver your purchase account. Let's see here. Purchase account debit, with amounted $1,000 to accounts payable account credit, accounts payable, with amounted $1,000. Let's see here the example number 2 of rule number 1, which is debit the receiver and credit the giver. Suppose, say you paid $500 amounted cash to company ABC for office supplies. You need to debit the receiver and credit the giver's cash account. For example, purchase supplies or supplies account debit, amounted $500 to cash account credit, with amount $500. In this way, the first rule of accounting, debit the receiver and credit the giver, has been cleared in the light of explanation and as well as examples. Now I am going toward rule number 2, which is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. For real accounts, use the second golden rule. A real account can be an asset account, a liability account, or an equity account. Real accounts are also referred to as permanent accounts. Real accounts don't close at year end. Real accounts don't close at year end. Instead, their balances are carried over the next accounting period, just like land, building, equipment, and so on. With a real account, when something comes into your business, e.g., an asset, debit the account. When something goes out of your business, credit the account. Let's see here the example of rule number 2. Example of second rule is, for example, let's say you purchased furniture for $2,500 in cash. Debit your furniture account, what comes in, and credit your cash account, what goes out. For example, the entry of this transaction is here. Furniture account, debit with amount $2,500, and cash account credit to cash account with amount $2,500. You can see here in the context of what comes in and what goes out, in the context of debit and credit rule. In this entry, the furniture comes in the business, therefore it is debit, and cash goes out. It will be considered as a credit for the business. After the completion of first and second golden rule of accounting of debit and credit, now we are going toward third and last rule, golden rule of accounting, which is debit expenses and losses, credit income and gains. The final golden rule of accounting deals with nominal accounts. Dear students, for complete understanding about nominal accounts and real accounts, you must see the last video of chapter number 3, video number 1. A nominal account is an account that you close at the end of each accounting period. Nominal accounts are also called temporary accounts. Temporary or nominal accounts include revenue, expenses, and gains and losses accounts. With nominal accounts, debit the account if your business has an expense or loss. Credit the account if your business needs to record income or gains. Let's see this example in case of expense or loss. For example, say you purchase amounted $3,000 of goods from company XYZ. To record the transaction, you must debit the expense amounted $3,000 purchase and credit the income. For example, the entry will be purchase account debit with amount $3,000 and cash account credit to cash account amounted $3,000. This example is related to the expense or loss account. For example, purchase is considered as an expense for the business, will be debit for the business. Now we have another example in case of income or gain. Say you sell amounted $1,700 worth of goods to company XYZ. You must credit the income in your sales account and debit the expense account. For example, the journal entry of this transaction will be cash account will be debit to sales account, or revenue account will be credit. Amounted $1,700. $1,700. Because you sell amounted $1,700 worth of goods to company XYZ, you must credit the income. Same as above, every business transaction, just like these transactions, which can be measured in monetary terms, finds a place in the accounting transaction of a firm. In order to record such transactions, a system of debit and credit has been devised which record such events through two different accounts. The net effect of these accounting entries is the same in terms of quantity. However, by debiting and crediting two different accounts, the correct accounting treatment can be depicted here. In a ledger account, usually the debit column is on the left side and credit column is on the right side. Simply, a debit is an accounting entry that either increases an asset or expense account or decreases a liability or equity account. Let's see here, or let you know about another debit and credit format for clear understanding about debit and credit rule. Rules for debit and credit system. Here is debit, here is credit. When assets will be increased, fall into debit, and liabilities will decrease, fall into debit. Same as liabilities, when equities will decrease, the account of equity will be debit. When expenses will increase, fall into debit. Now we move toward credit. When assets will decrease, fall into credit. Liability will increase, fall into credit. When equities will be increased, then fall into credit category. When revenues will increase, will be credit. These are the accounts are increase and decrease with debit and credit. A debit and accounting entry that either increases an asset or expense account or decrease a liability or equity account. It is positioned on left side in an accounting entry. Whether a credit is an accounting entry that increases either a liability or equity account or decreases an asset or expense account. Positioned on the right in an accounting entry. Whenever an accounting transaction happens, a minimum of two accounts is always impacted, with a debit entry being recorded against one account and a credit entry being recorded against another account. There is no upper limit to the number of accounts involved in transaction, but the minimum cannot be less than two accounts. The totals of debits and credits for any transaction must always equal each other. so that an accounting transaction is always said to be in balance. Thus, the use of debits and credits in two-column transaction recording format is the most essential of all controls over accounting accuracy. Thanks for watching this video. If you like, then subscribe, share and comment. Thank you all.